My name's Colin Tsai, and I'm at the Avid booth at IBC 2019, and this year we're showing Maestro PowerWall. So that's, for those of you who don't know, our all-in-one solution to control and manage content for in-studio displays. LED walls of any shape, size, resolution, aspect, and I'm going to show you kind of how we run through the workflow. So over here we have the client UI. So this can be run by an operator, but can also be triggered by external automation systems, third-party devices such as X keys and the like, as well as production switchers. For a full list of all of the automation systems that we support, you can see the website. So what we've got here is the UI. You see at the top here we have different tabs. These tabs control different layers or different monitors or groups of monitors. And you'll see that on each tab here we have a program and a preview section. And this can all be customized, by the way, as to how it's laid out. That program and a preview section will, if we look over at this preview monitor and program monitor over here, that actually mimics what we have in the client UI. So you'll see right now on the program we have our 8 boxes, and on the preview we just have a single background. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to populate some boxes and bring them to air. So I'll select one of my blank templates at the top here. And these again are completely customizable, but I'll choose my 3 box. You'll see in the preview here on the UI, I have 3 media boxes that have popped up. And then on the preview on the actual output from the engine, we also have our 3 boxes. So when I select one of those media boxes, I can choose what type of content I'd like to put in there. I can use an image, and those images are stored on the server itself. I can populate it with a clip. These clips are also stored on the graphics engine. They're played back with the built-in clip player, and they can also be non-standard resolution clips. So what that means is if we have an LED wall that's 2000 by 1500, which is not a really standard resolution, we can still render out a clip and place that on the server, and it will play it back in its native resolution. We can also now, which is a new feature in this version, browse Media Central Asset Management as well. So we can search by metadata or tag in the same way that you would from the Cloud UX web interface. So we can select any type of content from here. We can search for it, but I'm just going to select an image. You'll see that that image is then automatically populated on the output of the engine. So the engines, the Maestro engine that's used to render the graphics for PowerWall actually has a mount to your storage for your asset management system. Now we can also populate these boxes with video as well. Each of the engines has 16 live inputs that can be mapped to any type of graphic, whether it be 2D or 3D. As a texture. These 16 inputs can be static, but what we have here are actually the sources that are available on my switcher that's running in the back room here. So I can choose camera 2, for example, and we're actually changing the aux output on the production switcher that's running in the back. So I'll do that with both of these boxes here, and I've just changed 2 auxes. When this becomes really handy is if you're going from, let's say, an 8-box template to a 3-box template to a 4-box template right after the other. That's typically a lot of work for your TD or for your switcher operator to do, so we can save those templates, recall them one after the other, and PowerWall will actually make those aux changes as required. So after I've populated those 3 boxes, I can hit my transition button, and if you look up on the big wall here, you'll see that the current content that I have up there disappears, and the content that I had on the preview comes up to air. And over on our program preview display over here, you'll see it changes just like a switcher does. So this really gives us a second channel to build content on and populate templates and either save them to a rundown or bring them right to air. Now, another new feature we have in here is our internal rundown. So with PowerWall, we've always been able to connect to Media Central Newsroom Management or other NRCS systems and play back those rundowns. What we haven't been able to do until now is build a rundown directly within the PowerWall client. So you'll see here, I can actually take a populated template that I have right here on the preview, and I can choose to either save it down here as a snapshot, for a quick recall, or I can save it onto my right side here into my rundown. And what I can do here is create groups, so I can actually nest multiple templates, multiple populated templates within groups and have them triggered all at one time. And those can be triggered either from the PowerWall UI itself or from an external device, as I mentioned earlier. So now what I'm going to do is remove some content that I have up here and show you how easy it is to put a template together, to modify a template and actually make it look like you need it to look in your studio. So something that we added a couple releases ago was the PowerWall Production Manager. So you'll see here, this does look very similar to the client, as in you have all of the tabs at the top here that relate to the different monitors. But down here you also have all of your templates that you're able to edit. So for example here, I'll take my, my 2-box template, and you'll see here that I get a grid that matches the exact aspect of my large 3K display up at the top here. You'll see within here we have multiple box assets. This is just a very simple template with some boxes. And I can move those around and resize them directly from within this UI. Now, I would like to see what these actually look like on the output, so I'm going to turn on my live mode. What live mode allows you to do is actually view the production manager on the studio displays. So when I turn the live mode on, you'll see that my 2 boxes are up there on that big studio display, and I can move them around and resize them. So these are referred to as assets. So I can actually add as many assets into a template as I want. So you'll see here I've added a 3rd box, I can resize it, and I can really place it anywhere I want and make these templates look how I want them to look. We do have out-of-the-box templates that come with the system and out-of-the-box assets, but these can easily be made in our Maestro Designer software, which can be seen on the other side of the booth here. So once we have these assets positioned and sized how we would like them, I can then save this production, immediately go back into my client 2 or 3 minutes before air, and those changes will appear within the PowerWall client. So it allows for a really quick modification of templates, and that's something that we've tried to push in this version of PowerWall. The playout side of this and control has always been very, very simple, but we wanted to take that simplicity and ease of use and move that into the production manager. So if you'd like to see anything else to do with PowerWall and talk about it in more detail, you can come down and see us at IBC 2019.